Hey guys, a couple of students have sent me this question and it's solved through the same method that I've taught you in live class, the love triangle, the 3-box diagram. I figured out that other students may also face difficulty in this question, so I quickly am going to go over and solve it, right? And if you want more details, I've taught how these questions are solved in my live class. You could check that out on YouTube. They'll be available, right? But I'm not going to go into why I'm selecting this fella. I'll teach you the method that I've taught you already before, right? Which is that I'm going to figure out my start stage, I'm going to figure out my end stage, right? Which chemical should I take as my start stage? Well, I look into all these three equations. I'll say, hey, which particular reactant is common amongst all three? That's amongst, which is the most repetitive, effectively, not the common amongst all three, but which is the most repetitive. And I realize that NaHCO3 is the most repetitive, right? So I'm going to plug in NaHCO3 right here, and I'm going to figure out that's going to be my start stage, and the end stage is going to be NaCl is given, NaCl is given, and Na2CO3 is given. So because NaCl is the most repetitive, I'm going to take NaCl and write it as my end stage. Please understand that if you are confused as to why I'm writing this and why am I not writing HCl, please, I'm just figuring out the start stage. This is effectively NaHCO3 going into NaCl. I've picked out the first equation. This is the first equation that I've picked out, equation number 1. And this fella right here, this is going to be my intermediate, Na2CO3. That's my intermediate. So arrow here, love triangle ready. See, NaHCO3 going into Na2CO3, NaHCO3 going into Na2CO3. That's your equation. I'm basically picking out this equation. I'm not writing all the chemicals. I couldn't care less. You guys can write all the chemicals. It's up to you. Na2CO3 going into NaCl, Na2CO3 going into NaCl. I couldn't care less. You guys can write all the reactants and all the products. I'm just not writing them, right? Now, the idea is that I need to figure out this stuff, right? And the first equation that I have, NaHCO3 going into NaCl, NaHCO3 going into NaCl, the enthalpy change for this fella is minus 38.97, right? It's minus 38.97. Now, I need to go from NaHCO3 to Na2CO3, right? NaHCO3 going in from NaHCO3 to Na2CO3. If you want to go here, you'll realize that you need 2 NaHCO3s, whereas you only have 1. You need to have 2. See, I've picked out by taking this as my starting stage and this as the end stage, I've picked out equation 1. But equation 1 is for 1 of NaHCO3, right? Going into NaCl. This is NaHCO3 going into Na2CO3. This is for 2 of these, right? So if I were to go from this fella to this fella, I would need to have 2 NaHCO3s. And how could I have 2 NaHCO3s? I could just multiply this entire equation with 2. So I'm going to have 2 here, and therefore the enthalpy change would also be multiplied by 2. This is also multiplied by 2. Got it? Pretty simple. Now, 2 NaHCO3 going into Na2CO3, 2 NaHCO3 is going into Na2CO3. The enthalpy change for that, I don't know, it's X. And then Na2CO3 going into 2 NaCl, Na2CO3 going into 2 NaCl. That's already 2 here because I've multiplied the entire equation with 2. What do we get? That's Na2CO3 going into sodium chloride. That's minus 96.59. And you might ask me, sir, why aren't you multiplying this by 2? No, I won't, because see, sodium carbonate going into NaCl is 1 of this goes into 2 of this. 1 of this is already going into 2 of this. How is this already 2? Because I've multiplied the first equation with 2, and therefore I've multiplied the enthalpy change with 2. That's it. That's all you need to have. Now you could calculate it. The indirect root equals the direct root. That's it. A piece of cake. So what do you get? A direct root is 38.97 multiplied by 2 equals X minus 96.59, right? And then you go minus 96.59, plus 96.59 plus, because I shift this here, right? Plus minus, it's a law of summation, so I'm going to add a plus here, minus 38.97 times 2, I get minus 77.94, right? And X equals plus 96.59. What do I get? 96.59. It's 18.65, and that is, it's positive 18.65, and the answer to that is C. I hope it made sense. Easy.